It's the year 2025. Does anyone even know what a Peter gun is? If you do, good for you. If you don't, it's an old TV show from the late 50s, early 60s about a private investigator named Peter Gunn who lives lavishly while solving crimes. I don't know how he got associated with an arcade game involving car chases, but there you go. Hey, look kids, it's Spy Hunter from Midway. You remember Midway, don't you? Of course you don't. Anyway, Spy Hunter is a game where you drive a car and you shoot down other cars, but not all the cars, only the ones that are trying to kill you. The rest, you don't kill or else you don't get any points. But then sometimes you're not so sure because some of these civilian drivers probably shouldn't be driving in the first place. Just like in real life, but anyways. Spy Hunter graced a number of platforms back in the day, most notably the Nintendo Entertainment System from Sunsoft, which was a quality port for its time, but we're obviously not playing that one, we're playing this Colecovision port, which can be played with either the standard Colecovision controller or the specialized Colecovision Super Action controller, an interesting little device that comprises the usual keypad, a sturdy joystick, 4 colorful action buttons, and can also be used as an instrument of murder. So with the Super Action controller, your 4 colored buttons are mapped to your car's various weapons, your default machine guns, and your 3 special weapons that are attained by loading up with a truck that will provide the appropriate munitions. Otherwise, the standard controller maps your specials to the keypad, so you can acquire missiles, smoke screens, or oil slicks. Oil slicks drive cars off the road as well as off your back. Smoke screens blind the cars and also drives them off the road, presumably. And missiles will just fly straight ahead and usually not hit anything. Oh well, at least you got your guns, which are usually enough to take out most of the opposition, but if not, you can always just bump them off the road like in Bump and Jump or whatever. That usually works too. So you're driving down the road, you're killing all the bad guy cars and you're avoiding all the bad drivers because if you shoot them, you get no points for a bit. Every so often, you'll encounter a fork in the road that will lead you down different paths, and sometimes one of those paths will let you trade in your car for a speedboat, where you could speed down a river shooting down other boats and trying to avoid getting killed by little black dots that are supposed to be mines with very wide hitboxes. Sure, why not? Each time you start a new game, you have a grace period indicated by a ticking timer that essentially grants you unlimited lives during this time, so you could crash as often as you like. However, once that time runs out, you only get an extra life or 2 depending on your score. Usually attain an extra car with every 10,000 points or so scored, so try not to crash early on to get a high score and nail as many extra lives as early as possible. And also try not to crash so that you could keep your weapons, which usually run out after a few uses, but also expires when your car does. For what it's worth, control in Spy Hunter is pretty solid and responsive whether you're using a functioning standard controller or the Super Action controller, assuming you haven't tried to kill anyone with those. I wish braking was a little quicker here, it feels a bit more sluggish compared to other versions I've played, but other than that, it's not so bad. Not much in terms of alternate modes, just the usual 4 skill settings and choice of control input. Spy Hunter looks okay. The scrolling is a bit choppy and the sprites are mostly single color affairs, but they look and move about just fine. The scenery's basic but clean looking, the transitions from normal roads to icy roads is a bit jarring, but other than that, it's not a bad looking game. And of course you've got a decent playing rendition of that Peter Gunn theme from yesteryear playing throughout the game, along with some so-so stock Colecovision sound effects for a good measure. Not much else to say there. Overall, Spy Hunter on Colecovision is pretty good. Admittedly, I wasn't expecting much out of this port, but what I got was a rather respectable conversion of the arcade classic with a controller that has more than enough buttons to do the things the game has you doing, whether it's the stock Colecovision controller or the murder machine that is the Super Action controller. The choppy scrolling might throw some people off, and it's obviously nowhere near as polished as the later NES port would be, but this is still a perfectly playable, competently executed, and quite enjoyable little version of Spy Hunter on Colecovision that's worth a spot in any Colecovision collection. Hell, as far as I'm concerned, this is pretty much a highlight in Colecovision library. Take that for what it's worth, but when all is said and done, this is arcade goodness done well. And that's all I ever really need.